I feel like my hair never looks good in my videos, but honestly my hair just never looks good in real life. Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey guys! Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanner and I just got back from California like 5 days ago, which means it's almost been a week already. But yeah, I got some new makeup while I was in California and I figured why not do a get ready with me as I talk about my new makeup products, first impressions, as well as talk about my trip to California. Yeah! Alright, well, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. I'm going to keep the intro very quick, very short, because the video is going to be super long. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alright, so starting off with my primer, I'm going to be using the Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist. Alright, and now I'm just going to be using the NYX Honey Do Me Up primer. So for foundation today, I'm going to be using the MAC Studio Sculpt foundation. I wanted to get the MAC Studio Fix foundation, the one that comes in like the pump, but they didn't have my color. So I'm going to be using this today. It's in shade NC15. So I hope this is a good color. Yeah, so I feel like that covered like nothing. You can still see like all the redness in my face and like all my freckles, which I mean I don't mind like my freckles peeking through a little bit, but definitely I want the redness to be toned down. You can see the difference. It did cover up a little bit more. I used more foundation the second time, like a big old dollop. I definitely feel like it's sitting on my face weird. Like it's kind of like separating and just like settling weird. Alright, so now I'm just going to go in with my concealer. I'm just going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape. This is pretty self-explanatory, so let me start talking about California. So my grandpa from my dad's side was diagnosed with cancer, and I got the news Thursday the 15th that he had passed away, which the night before they took him off life support. My brother and I, we had only met him like once or twice, and I'm pretty sure the last time was when my parents got married, and that was back in 2006. So it's been over 10 years since we had seen him, which, you know, the death was obviously sad and upsetting because that's our grandpa at the end of the day, but you know, we didn't take it as hard as we took like my grandpa from my mom's side just passed away last month, and that was pretty hard. But you know, we wanted to go to California, that way we could be there to support our dad. So Saturday the 17th, right after work, I drove to Virginia, and then Sunday morning my brother and I took a flight from Norfolk International to San Diego, California. Real quick, so I just finished blending out my Tarte Shape Tape, which I use Tarte Shape Tape on the daily, and like it is just like, you see how it's just like settling and like separating and just clinging, and over here, like look at that little patch. I'm just gonna be doing like a light setting today just because I'm not doing anything or going anywhere, so I really don't want to bake. So I'm just gonna be using the Ulta Pressed Finishing Powder. This is just a pressed translucent powder. And then I'll be using my Luxie foundation brush. So, you know, we met my dad at the airport and we stayed in Fontana, California in my grandpa's house. That's where my grandpa lived. So like on the way, like in the car, you know, we were playing like California Girls, Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers. My dad was playing like old school Snoop Dogg. So we were just being super cheesy, like super touristy. Like I felt like I was like in a movie, like windows down, sunroof down, just like blaring California music, driving to California. I'm just gonna be using my Hoola light bronzer and my e.l.f. pointed powder brush just to bronze up the face. Again, I'm not gonna spend too much time on my face makeup because For what? Ooh. My Tamagotchi made a noise. She was hungry. And then going in with the crown brush just to add the shadow to my nose. So the first night, like after, you know, we're driving back from San Diego, we stop at In-N-Out. Of course, who can go to California or anywhere West Coast for that matter and not have In-N-Out? Sorry, my husband's fish just got here. Then I had to move everything and then I had to move everything around in the freezer to accommodate said fish because that box was huge. So for blush, I'm going to be using this Pretty Vulgar Make Me Blush in the shade Hush Blush. So this I haven't used before. I got it in my BoxyCharm. And of course I'm going to be using my Luxie blush brush, the brush I always use for my blush. Before I even talk about how the food tastes, because I know everyone has their own opinion about the food, let me talk about how I almost died at In-N-Out. So, you know, I hadn't seen my dad in a while, nor my brother, honestly. So we're all like talking, catching up, having fun, blah, 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 blah. I start choking on my burger. And I mean like legit choking. Like I couldn't breathe. Like I looked at my dad because I was like struggling, and he's like a paramedic and EMT and firefighter and just a lifesaver, just a hero. So I'm like looking at him like struggling, and I'm like pointing to my throat like gah. And he just starts like rubbing my back, and I'm like freaking out in my head. And like I've passed out before. Like the last time I donated blood, I passed out, and that was like my first time ever passing out. And before I passed out, there were like things that started happening. So first of all, my body felt really numb, like really tingly, like floaty, and like just looking out, like things started looking different, like looking blurry almost, like just like it literally feels like you're like fading out. So this started happening. So I'm like I'm about to die. Like I'm about to die right here, right now, first day of California. Haven't even gone to the Morphe store yet, haven't even met a celebrity, and I'm about to die. So I ended up working the food through, because the thing that sucked was not only did I have like food stuck in my throat, but there was still food in my mouth. So I worked the food out. So I worked it down my throat, was able to finish chewing the food I had already had in my mouth, you know, did some coughing, drank some of my soda, you know, it's okay. You know, it happened and it's okay. If you were to ask my brother how was the food, he's gonna say he didn't like it, it was gross. But let me tell you something about my brother. My brother is one of those people, just like my husband, who eats his burgers plain. Patty and ketchup, if ketchup. Okay? So, if you just eat a plain hamburger, yeah, it's not gonna live up to expectations. You know, he thought his mind was gonna be blown. You know, I got my burger like In-N-Out style or whatever. So I had the patty, the cheese, the secret sauce, the grilled onions, whatever else, ketchup, you know, whatever else that comes with. So I thought it was delicious. Like it really reminds me of like the Red Robin like tavern, the way like the sauce is. And I also tried their fries animal style, which is basically everything on a burger on the fries. So the cheese, the grilled onions, the sauce. So I also enjoyed that. So that was In-N-Out, and that's the story of me almost dying. So I'm just gonna be using my Badescu Rosewater spray, get my sponge nice and wet. So I got 2 new palettes. One I did get, when I went to the Morphe store, I did get the Lorelei Los Angeles palette. But before I even went to California, I had a request to do a review on the Modern Renaissance Soft Glam. Alright, so I'm just going to be going in with the Morphe M433 brush. I'm going to take the shade Tempera. I'm just going to do my whole lid with it. So day 2, we went to Victoria Gardens, I believe it's called, which is in Fontana. I'm pretty sure which Fontana. So obviously I'm not from California. Obviously I don't know the geographical places. So there were signs for Rancho Cucamonga, or Ranchero Cucamonga, Ranch Cucamonga, you know, something like that. So I don't know if Victoria Gardens is in Fontana or Rancho Cucamonga, I don't know, but it's Victoria Gardens. That's where the Morphe store is. That's where I went to the MAC store. Pandora, you know, it's an outside mall. It's like an outside, it is an outside mall. The second day was Victoria Gardens, so I did some shopping. I went to the Morphe store. So like my brother got his hair cut while he was there, and then we went to Hollywood because I really wanted to go to Madame Tussauds. I don't know, it pisses my brother off that I can't say that correctly, but the wax museum, the famous wax museum. So I went there, and holy, like everything literally looked so real, so amazing. Like I was even showing my husband like the pictures at, like, you know, when I got home, and he was just like, oh my god, like that's crazy how realistic they look, like down to the clothes, what they're wearing, to like the poses they're doing. Like Demi Lovato was up there singing, Taylor Swift had her guitar, like, you know, it was really cool. I'm gonna go in with orange soda because that's like a shade that's always kind of fascinated me, and I know people talk about it a lot. So I'm gonna be using the Morphe R38, and like let me just tell you about like Hollywood for a minute. So I thought like Hollywood was gonna be like this glamorous place, like on TV, and like I'm gonna see celebrities and all this and that, and I was literally scared for my life. Sketchy people everywhere. And like I said, there were just like people talking to themselves, people who were like clearly like just messed up on drugs. Like I was like, this is where you see people on bath salts eating people's faces. So the following day, which we're at like Wednesday now, was just, I guess, more of like a chill day. So we just picked up my stepsister from the airport, which her flight was like an hour or two late, so that was kind of like a bummer. So, oh, here's another story. So while we were at the airport, well, let's move on. All right, so now I'm gonna take Dusty Rose, and I'm just gonna use this, the Vintage Cosmetic Company. This brush is called Step 2, and I'm just gonna focus that color like in my outer V and bring it up a little bit in my crease. So I like overheard this conversation about like there being a dog stuck in its like kennel like after flying, and you know, I heard the lady, like the dog owner, asking like the people she was with, like, does anyone have a knife? Of course no one has a knife, it's an airport. But because we weren't like actually flying, we were picking up, like I kind of assumed my dad would have a knife because I feel like most men carry knives. So I was like, hey, do you have a knife? Like this dog stuck. And before I even finished my sentence, he was already like up and, you know, ready to help the dog. So he comes back and he's like, do you have like a napkin or anything in your purse? I'm like, no, why? And he was like, do you have, you know, just like asked me, and I was like, no, I mean, I have like a tampon. And he's like, no, like, you're like, can you please like grab me some like paper towel? I can't even talk about it, man. But yeah, he was like, can you bring me like some paper towels or napkins or something from like the bathroom? And I was like, you know, I was just kind of like really confused. And he's like, anything to keep me from bleeding on the ground. And I look, and so I watch scary movies, I've seen gore, you know, but it's one thing to see blood like in the movies, and it's another thing to see it in real life. And ever since I donated blood, I have a hard time with blood anyways. Like when Jordan gets like bloody noses, it like freaks me out. So to see this much blood in real life, like I immediately wanted to vomit. Like I was so sick to my stomach. I was like, oh my god. Like I was like, you know, I could feel like a panic attack coming on. I was just like, oh my god. So like, you know, I ran to the bathroom, and of course, like, you know, there's always lines in women's restrooms. I don't care where you are, there's a line. And I'm just trying to get some paper towels, and of course this sensor paper towel thing doesn't work because they never do. Like the sinks never work, the soaps never work, the paper towel things never work, nothing ever works. So finally I like find some like tissue or whatever, so I like run it over and, you know, give it to my dad or whatever. And then Thursday, mine and my brother's last day, we spent it in Disneyland, so that was super fun. I'm going to go in with, I think I'm gonna take a combo of Rustic and Mulberry. I'm gonna do both those together. Bless you. So I'm just gonna go in with this Morphe E36 brush. And again, I'm just gonna do my outer V. But this time, I'm gonna really focus it just on like that outer. And then like the morning, Thursday morning, the day, you know, we're supposed to fly back, I seriously felt so sick. So like my brother and I legit almost missed our plane. I mean, like my dad had to call them and say, hey, like my kids just got through TSA, can you wait like just a minute? Like we were legit run. We both have like, you know how my face is red, his is the same way. So we were both like super flushed, sweaty, like, ah. And I'm just like, well, at least we're making memories, you know. That's pretty much like all the highlights that I had. So now I'm just gonna smoke out my lower lash line. So I'm just gonna use the smaller side and I'm gonna dip into orange soda. And then just smudge out the bottom. All right, and then taking a Morphe eyeliner brush, I'm going to go in with just Mulberry by itself. And I'm just literally gonna like stamp it on my lower lash line. And then using the end of the Anastasia brush, I'm just gonna smoke that out. And I'm really not gonna add any more product, I'm just gonna use what I already have. Alright, so now I'm gonna dip into one of the like sparkly colors. I'll start with rose pink first. I'm just gonna use this flat shader brush from Morphe and then just apply it on my inner hand. Alright, boys and girls, dance, man. Alright, so I'm just going to do my eyebrows, my eyeliner, and my mascara off camera just because this video is already 100 million years long and it's pretty self-explanatory. To keep it in the theme of new things, I used this new brow pencil. I got this in my Ipsy bag like a couple months ago, but I never used it. It's the Trestique, I'm assuming. So I really like this shade. It's like a super cool tone brown and I really like it with my brows. Obviously I like my brows to be darker than my hair color. Gel my brows, I used the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel Mascara in the shade Brownie Brows. To line my tight line or upper waterline, I used this Sex Kitten eyeliner by Tarte. This is also new for me. I like it. It was super black, super creamy. You definitely don't want like a hard pencil to get up there, and it was super creamy. To line my waterlines, I used the NYX Jumbo pencil in this shade Milk. Again, this is not new. For to line my upper lash line, I used the NYX Super Skinny Marker. Again, not new. Mascara, this is new. This is or new to me. This is the Butter London Double Decker Lashes Mascara. I got this in my BoxyCharm. So I really liked it the first time I used it, and this is my third time using it. So I really liked it the first time I used it, but like I used it yesterday and today, and now I'm having a problem where it's really messy. Like, I mean, I cleaned it up before I showed you guys, but it's really easy to get like on your eyelid, or especially when you do your lower lash line. I really don't like it for the lower lash line. I would just recommend, because it is pretty, like if you do it right, I think it makes your lashes look really pretty. My recommendation for you guys is to just like take your time with it, do it slow. Like don't just like do it slow, that way you don't get it too messy. So for highlighter today, I'm going to be using this Winky Luxe holographic highlighter. I got this in my Ipsy bag for this month. So yeah, I'm just going to be using the taper brush that I always use for my highlighters. So it definitely has like that pink hue to it. I think it's really pretty. So to highlight my inner corners, I think I'm going to use Fairy in the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm just going to take this like really small, like fluffy kind of blending like brush. Ooh, that is pigmented. So I'm going to be using this Too Faced Festival Refresh setting spray. This is new, as in I recently bought it, but I've been using it since it came out. I would spray the tester on my face every single day at work. From the Morphe store, I got this Jeffree Star liquid lipstick. This is in the shade Dollparts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't like me talking so much, I'm sorry. I did have a couple people say they were like wanting to know about my trip to California. So I'm gonna do a little bit more like talk through videos that's less talking, as well as continue to do voiceovers, just because voiceovers are honestly the easiest to do. I can like jam out to my music while doing my makeup, and editing just makes it easier. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any requests, comment down below your requests that you have. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.